You know, last night's situation was interesting where I got stopped. I just want to say, I want it to be clear that like it was on an outside thing, you can't really see, but this is like a breezeway. I wasn't in somebody's hallway playing guitar. It was not just somebody's hallway. And I'm saying that because I wanted to be clear that I wasn't that inconsiderate to like play in a small hallway, loud. The lesson I learned in watching these things accumulate is that, like a guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'm like often in conflict with my environment mentally. So there's that admission. You know, I see that my take on things and my reaction, I'm picky and persnickety. Not petty, but it was a P word. Petty would apply, although I don't like that word. It seems like you don't really think through things. Petty is like, but maybe that's it, you know. Maybe I'm a little petty. Maybe I'm like Tom Petty. Running down a dream, one day when I ever release. You ever been to a Fathom event? I know you've seen them advertised at the cinema. Upcoming Fathom event. Glenn Beck tells the story of his Christmas when he was crying in the middle of a field or something. And events that most people can't fathom attending. Ba-doom-choo. I went to a Fathom event and it was Roger Waters' The Wall. First of all, so I don't know if it's the best place to do your vlog, right where the, I don't even know what it's called, the temple? Not the temple, not the synagogue, not the church. But anyway, so a lot of people are doing that, and I just don't want to be, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to get hurt. I don't feel fear right now. I'm not afraid of Muslims. But I am afraid of people who think they're being threatened in any way. That scares me because I know how people get. Any person who truly understands I'm being threatened right now becomes a dangerous person. Alright, here we go. I just saw the movie Sicario, and I'm going to give a lot of spoilers, okay? So if you want to see that movie intact, don't watch this, okay? First of all, it started with a lot of dust. I noticed there were a lot of dust motes in the air. I don't know what they were trying to get across, that the world is not clear. Emily Blunt was foggy in the bathroom mirror. She couldn't see herself really, so there was a lot of like establishing that, you know, what you're about to see here is going to be hard to be clear about or hard to understand. It's a situation that's not cut and dry. Emily Blunt, Emily Straightforward, as I like to call her, was very good in it. You know, I have all these things I want to say to the movie and stuff, but see, I'm black and white. So I have things I want to say to the screen, because that's the black part of me, but I don't scream them out because the white part of me insists that I write them down instead. So there's the beauty of being biracial. Can we talk for a second about Benicio del Toro? Is it Benicio or is it Benicio? I don't know, but he does look-io like Brad Pitt-io and Leonardo DiCaprio. As if they both got together and had a baby with a bear, that would be Benicio del Toro. That dude is such an amazing actor. I don't know what he's doing. What is he doing? He's not doing anything. He's just sitting there. I've always said that Benicio del Toro looks like he's like the crew, like the film crew wandered in and started filming him. He was just living his life. He seemed more actorish in this than he ever had, but it's a very subtle line. Most people wouldn't even care or notice. He's great. What it is, first of all, he's got a great hairline. Josh Brolin's in it too. Great hairlines. These dudes, these actors, these A-list actors, almost all of them have great hairlines. And maybe I'm sensitive to it because my hairline is creeping back and I have taken to wearing a watch cap to avoid exposing my baldness constantly to myself. But there's some connection between a really good hairline and longevity in Hollywood. I feel like Benicio del Toro needs to get out of the Drug Enforcement Agency, though. You saw him in Traffic. Like, there's violence in this movie. It's very violent, but they just sort of established the violence. It's not violent throughout. In fact, the torture stuff is dealt with in a very good way, because if you overdo it in terms of torture scenes, you make the audience numb, and then they can't be open to other things. So they show some violence to let you know that the cartel is dangerous and the kind of things that they do. Why am I reviewing this movie? I don't want to make this thing a review about the film. Proud, put it this way, I have some personal pride about my ability to watch and evaluate video entertainment. You know, film is all externals, if you think about it. That's all a film can ever be, is the outside of something. Even if it's the outside of a crying woman's face, it's still her face and the tears. You don't know what's going on inside her. And then the other things are all clearly external. Cars, vehicles, guns, houses, roads, skies. It's the material world. But the inside of like a human being, of a person, you can't perceive at a movie. So, for a film to be a complete thing, it has to be seen. A film needs you. Movies need people. Movies are not complete unless they are put in a movie house on a screen and you are there. You are the feeler. You are the soul, the spirit. You are an important, very important part, not only of a movie, but of any piece of like artistic expression. They covered that a little bit in the movie the other day about walking the high wire. Ben Kingsley was giving him some advice about how to deal with the audience, and I've always believed that you've got to acknowledge that audience. If you hate the audience, if the audience for you is secretly some group, if it's your parents in a darkened house, if you're on a live stage and you're trying to get them to love you, you got to know that and deal with that. I believe you have to want to please the audience. You have to want to connect to them. You have to want to share with them. You have to love them in some way. You can't hate the audience and be a successful artist or a great artist. Not in my opinion. And you know what? I don't care if somebody else says something else somewhere else on the internet or in a book, or I don't give a shit anymore. I'm at the age where I'm saying the shit I believe. This is what I believe. You can't be a good artist unless you have some kind of love for the audience. Oh, Josh Brolin, man. Nobody does smug power like Josh Brolin. I gotta tell you. He really nails it. And he was like so like smiley and just like out of, oh, it's weird, look at this, look up at that window. I won't be able to see. Up at the window there's a kid looking out. It's pretty interesting. I thought it was a ghost. Like that ghost from 3 Men and a Baby. And it might have been. Remember that? The little ghost, but it was really Ted Danson in a cardboard cutout. And it wasn't a ghost at all. Anyway, people said many times in this movie, I have a son. Like some danger would be about to befall them, and they would look at the potential danger bringer and say, I have a son. So I'm going to try that next time next time there's a gun next to my head, I'm going to say, I have a son. I think it's something about talking to the deep biological entity that's about to shoot you, that is indwelling in each person, and it's saying, I will promulgate the species, therefore do not kill me. These movies are always sort of intimating that there are shady power pockets, you know. I don't believe in that anymore. I don't believe in shady pockets of power. I think people can get things done. I think people behead each other. I think things like that do happen. But I don't believe in a dark force ultimately behind everything. I believe that the dark forces exist at a relatively surface level, and that when you get quiet each day and you go down into that deeper part, that what you find is at peace. You can see the perturbed mind going during meditation, but under it is the stillness that is behind it all. It's not my talking. My talking is not about the stillness. My talking is in and among the stillness. There's a guy talking on the other side of the street. You really notice it when you're trying to do your vlog. Listen. Stop talking. You can't walk and talk anywhere in this city without being disturbed. But here's the beauty of it. I am disturbed. That's a full sentence right there.